everybody, and welcome to episode 41 of All About African Violets. All About African Violets is musically sponsored by Ted Yoder. You can hear his great music on his website at tedyoder.com. It is also available from iTunes. Well, hi everybody. This is a very different week. So come on into the sunroom, welcome, and sit down and relax for a few minutes. I'm changing things up all over the place. It's Thursday night and I am getting ready to go to show. So this episode is going to be all about getting ready to go. And then while I'm at the show this weekend, I'm going to film as much as I can for you, and I'll be sharing that with you in the weeks to come. But for tonight, I'm just gonna start and we're gonna go. I just filmed the Look at What's on the Stands, and I'm going to show that to you first. And so you'll hear me say that you may have already seen something. You haven't seen it yet, because while I was filming it, I thought, oh no, I'm going to change up the order, and you'll see why as we go through the podcast. So for tips and treasures, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with some of my plants which are just not quite blooming enough, and we'll see. You know, I debated 3 of my standards that I was hoping might be a standard collection. I'm just not sure that they have enough blossom to really take to the show. But this podcast has always been about what happens and the things that occur, and how sometimes even experienced growers have issues and things that we deal with. And so I'm going to show you what my plan is for each of these plants that I'm going to bring. I've got 3 that I feel good about, and I've got 3 that I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. And I got to tell you, I turned up the heat. You know, it was so cold here. It's warm today. It was 56 degrees when I left my office, and you know, that's as warm as it's been really all year. That's like the warmest day we've had so far. Spring has really taken its time getting here in Chicagoland, and my plants are showing the effects of that. It just wasn't very warm, and had I thought about this, I mean, maybe I should have turned up the temperature, you know, about a month ago, and that may have helped. But it's too late now. I did turn it up 2 days ago, and then turned it up again. Turned it up to 70, turned it up to 72. So it has helped a little bit. I've got a couple more blossoms open, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to take these plants to show anyway, because it's important to take them to show. It's helpful for your club, for your group, to have plants in the show. They don't all have to be perfect. Of course, we all strive for perfection. And I got a really great email from Joyce Stork, and I'm going to share. I won't read it to you, but the gist of it was, Annie, you better take those plants. If they have at least 5 blossoms, you better take them. I was like, okay, I'll take them, Joyce. So, because she's seen me, you know, look at my plants before and go, I just don't think this plant is good enough. And she tells the story about the particular plant that I said that of once when she was here, helping me get ready actually for show. And I said, I just don't think that this one, I'm a little worried about it. And she said, oh my gosh, you have to take it. And it got a high award. So I was glad that I took it. And truthfully, that is almost always the case. If you leave your plants home on the shelf, you're never going to know. You know, and 9 times out of 10, it has been my experience that you get to the show and kind of look around and go, I got plants at home that look better than some of these plants, but you left them at home. So it's important to take your plants to show. Yes, I wish all of mine were perfect, but I'm going to take them anyway, and we're going to see how it goes. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm going to work with in the hope that I can make them look a little bit better for the show on Saturday. So what we're gonna, so like I said, everything is kind of switched up. So let's go now and take a look at what's on the stands so you can kind of see what they look like now, and I'll be right back. Well, here we are in the guest room for a look at what's on the stands. It is Thursday night, and I've got 3 plants here, 3 standards that are really do not really have enough blossom to go to show. I'm going to see what I can do, and you will have already probably seen that by the time you're seeing this. But I do have 3 that are going to go to show. This is Rob's Wagga Wagga, Vaughn's Little Lady, and Roulette. And here is the second shelf. Everybody looking pretty good here. And the third shelf. Oh, things are trying to bloom down here, which is kind of cool. This is Smooch Me. The reason they're blooming is that, as I've already told you, I think, or probably already told you, I turned up the heat to 72. It is warm in here. Here is Optimara Hawaii and Jersey Rose Trail. And this is a Russian one, and it is gorgeous. This is Ike Princesa Greza. And this is Santee Sioux, and that is a newer plant from Kent Stork. Beautiful double red. Liking it a lot. And down here, again, this is Zima Obeetzia, a lovely blossom. And that's Ellie Granger trying to bloom. Let's go take a look in the basement. Here we are, down in the basement. There's Willawa. Ooh, this needs a drink. This is EK Sky Azure. That's the English translation. Beautiful. Everybody looking pretty good here. There's a leaf. There we go. That's A. John's Winter Sun. That's the Sport. Here is Traveling Man. And, oh, this is trying to bloom. This is, I turned it upside down. This is Lavender Tempest. This should be in bloom by next week, and I'm really excited to be seeing it. And here is my pink Acajou. Still looking kind of sorry. Let's go take a look upstairs. Here we are, I'm in the kitchen. And everyone up here looking pretty good. That's Optimara Little Wichita Girl trying to bloom. My pink, my champagne pink. Everything looking good. Here's the Gesneriad shelf. Someone asked me if I was going to eventually put these in a hanging pot, and I will. I will be cutting them back and then restarting some pieces and then expanding this, and it'll begin to cascade. Same with this one. Still really liking this one. Shadow Magic. Liking it a lot. Straps are both looking just fine. And right here is my Carry Eye. Let's go take a look out at the Big Box Violet. Here's the Big Box Violet. It's getting ready to bloom. It's just been nonstop. It's just so great. Really excited about it. Well, that is the look at what's on the stands this week, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you could kind of get a look, kind of get an idea. Everybody else is looking pretty good. You know, everything is growing, and some other plants are trying to bloom because, of course, it's 72 degrees in here, which is crazy. It's so warm, I can hardly stand it. So we're going now into my kitchen, and I know the light is not always as good there as it is downstairs, but it's going to be easier for me to show you what I'm going to do and the work that I'm going to do to prepare these plants to take them to show. So come with me now and we'll head into the kitchen. Okay guys, here we are in my kitchen. This is Optimara, Michigan. It has it has 4 open blossoms, but we've got 2 more hopefuls over here. And remember, this is Thursday evening, but the show is not going to be judged until Saturday, so I still have some time, and I'm really crossing my fingers. Here's Optimara, Ontario. And here is Western Moon. Optimara, Ontario has 5 blossoms open, and Western Moon has 4 with a great bud there, and obviously plenty more ready to go. So then the other 3, here's Vaughn's Little Lady, which I'm not going to need to do anything with other than clean it up. Here is Rob's Wagga Wagga, same thing. And here is Roulette. It needs a little work, but it has plenty of blossom, thank goodness. So we're going to start with Optimara, Ontario. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. This is Optimara, Ontario. And it's looking pretty good, except that it just doesn't have enough blossom. And as you can see, it's got a ton of buds. I'm really hoping some of them will open. But because I have to leave to go to show, I'm going to take off a row of leaves. This is always a little bit dangerous, but I think that it is going to be a good plan. So this is what I'm going to do. And this leaf has a mar in it. So here we go. 1. I'm going to go slowly. 2. 3. 1 go. Uh-oh, I just broke one that I don't think I really wanted to break. This is the only trouble with having things on. Yeah, this one just went. Okay, well, that means that then that one went. Oh boy, this has got to go. When you have plants on a reservoir, there, they stay very turgid. Okay, now this is looking a little goofy, not goofy. It's not bad. It could be a lot worse. And a judiciously placed stake, probably right here, will keep that leaf over there. Yes, it has some gaps, but it's going to be better this way than the way it was before. Let's take a look at Michigan. Same thing. This has leaves that need to go. And I'm just going to let you watch me do this. I would like this one to be standing up a little bit more. There we go. There. I need another note card. This will do. No, that's just a little too much. What about that? Well, it's not ideal, but again, I'm going to wait to take off any more on this one. I'm going to wait until entries tomorrow, and then it's likely that I will take a few more. But for now, that's how this one's going to stay. Now, let's go over here. Whoa, don't fall over. And let's look at Western Moon. Truthfully, Western Moon's symmetry is looking really, really great. And if it was just in bloom, really all the way in bloom, it would be lovely. So I'm going to take a row off. Guys, what this does is it makes the actual diameter of the plant smaller, so that the fact that you don't have quite so many blossoms isn't quite so glaringly apparent. At least that's the hope, okay? Yeah, these two need to go too. So it's the same plant, but it doesn't look quite as bad not having quite as many blossoms. So let's take a look now at Roulette. And it's just a little wonky looking, and so we want to see what we can do to help it along. These blossoms are lovely. They're standing straight up on the peduncle. They really look good. But the symmetry on this is not great. This plant, Roulette, this variety has sentimental value to me, which is why I like to grow it. So it's not ideal, but I like it. Okay. Okay, it's got a somewhat triangular shape, but it looks pretty darn good. Now, I'm looking at it, I can see a small neck, but I have left enough space here when I repotted. I know it's hard for you guys to see this, but I've got at least this much space left where I can put a little bit of potting mix in there that will just sort of camouflage that neck. And that's how it goes to show. So let's just take one last look here at Rob's Wagga Wagga. I'm pleased with this little trailer. Got one leaf that I'm going to take because it's got a mar on it, and it's not really necessary to keep it. It's blooming beautifully. I guess the cold just didn't affect this one. But, you know, this is another thing that we learn. And it's because I've been starting over, I am relearning which plants of the varieties that I got, which ones are going to grow well here in this Midwestern climate. Granted, we don't always have as cold a spring as we did this year, and I guess it would pay for me to pay attention to that next time, huh? All right, listen, I'm going to slip pot these now, which I've shown you guys before, but I will just show you quickly again. I use saran wrap, glad wrap, whatever. If you're in the UK, you call it cling film, whatever you need. And what you do, get my scissors, is you put this on the bottom of the pot. Okay, so I'll do this with Rob's Wagga Wagga. And so here's my wick. Oops, I'm out of the frame completely. I beg your pardon, you guys. Here's the wick, and I'm going to just place this, the wick is in there, and place the saran wrap around the bottom of the pot and just sort of wrap it around like this. And it's down, it's here on the sides of the pot. And then I have another pot that is exactly the same size, and I'm just going to slide it in there. And this way, this can sit on the show table. No water is going to drip out the bottom and ick anything up. And for most shows, every show I've ever been in, let's put it that way, that's how we had to do it, is to slip pot our plants. So, all right, you guys, I will be back in just a moment. Well, guys, I said I'd be right back, but now it is actually Thursday morning, and I'm running a little late, as is usual for me. But these are my show hopefuls. This is Optimara, Michigan, Optimara, Ontario, Roulette, Vaughn's Little Lady, Rob's Wagga Wagga, Western Moon, and I have two last-minute hopefuls. This is Traveling Man from down in the basement. It's blooming, so it's going. And this is my Petrocosmia caryi, which you guys have seen, and I'm going to enter it in the non-blooming other Gesneria category. So this is my stuff that needs to go. Sorry, my shadow's in the way. Things that I take with me, always some paper towels in case I find any leaves that need to come home with me, some Ziploc bags that got the snack size, and some cotton and some tin foil, a squirt bottle of my own plant water in case anyone needs a drink, my tools, my brush, this is the most important thing, and some snacks. And over here is a box, a floral box that Joyce and Kent gave me, one they didn't need anymore, and I've got it full of shredded paper, and I'm going to nest everything in there. I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. Here they are, all nestled in the box. I hope I've got them in there pretty well. Now I'm going to go start the car and get on the road. I'll see you guys at the show. Well, I'm here in Moline, and this is backstage at Entries. And you can see that folks have stuff here, getting ready, some designs, some horticulture. Here's my sad little group, which, believe me, looks sad compared to everyone else's this year. But here we have a great location in the South Park Mall, and I'm going to show you the sales area now. Guys, that's Gary Makita getting his plants ready. He's got a beautiful bunch of stuff for sale here. Okay, we're seeing the back of you, Gary. You want to say hi to the podcast?
Hello, podcast.
Thank you. All kinds of wonderful stuff. I already got some streptocarpus from him to bring home. Here's some violets. We've got a beautiful sales area. And back there was our backstage area. And these tables will be our show. It's early yet on Friday morning, so entries haven't even started yet. But I'm just kind of walking you along here. There'll be more.
It'll get some pink on it.
Always great stuff. Some of the other Gesneriads, these must be Dales. And here's Lana setting up. Say hi to the podcast, Lana.
It's so fun to be here. My goodness.
She's got these itty bitty teeny weenies. Look at them, you guys. Wow. teeny weenies. All kinds of very cool things. And plenty of other plants right over here as well. So here's the overview. You can see we've got a great big sales area. Well guys, I'm out here in the mall. I hope you can hear me. And you know, these tables were empty when you saw them the last time. And now everything has been judged. And I'm just gonna, you know, give you a few, kind of a short tour. That's the McGill Cup. That's a special award from Illinois. And I just want to show you my plants, which you guys have been following along. Here's Optimara, Ontario. And I have to say, I'm so excited. It did get a blue ribbon. It didn't win Best in Class or anything special, but the judges were kind. Hang on, and we'll just keep going here. I'm just going to kind of walk on down the line. I realize you'd like to know the names of some of these, but it's not really possible for me to do that. And I'm telling you, the judges were really kind. Here's my Optimara, Michigan. It finally had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blossoms open, and they, I think, decided that that was enough. They must not have been able to find 10 points to take off, so I'm really happy about that too. Here are a few others, and this is one that I like a lot. It's called Heartland's Lime Sherbet, and I've got a leaf of it. I'm going to try to grow it. Hang on, I'll be right back. And here we go. We're heading still down on the standards, and here we're heading into the minis. This is really a beautiful show, and there are a lot of entries. I think we have more than 150, which is great. Just great. You know, I'll show you this one. This is Ness's Satin Rose. It's not mine. It's one I've tried to grow before, and this is a very nice specimen of it. I found it always to be a little challenging. Here are some semis. That was a semi as well. And here we go now around the corner. More semis. And here are the trailers. And there's Traveling Man, which got Best in Class. I was pleasantly surprised. And here are the semi-miniature trailers. And there's my Rob's Wagga Wagga, and it got Best in Class here as well. I didn't win Best Trailer, but because the miniature trailer was darling. Wait till you see it. I'll show it to you on the honor court. But I was really thrilled that these guys did so well, particularly since I was very worried about all of them. And there's one of the species plants. It's not the best species. That's up on the honor court. Here are some vintage violets. These are all plants that are at least 25 years old. This class is about an unusual or decorative container. Got some lovely ones there. And we have a class in our show for violets grown in natural light. So that plant's blooming beautifully. Maybe I'll enter the big box violet at some point. New seedlings and sports. And here now we move into the other Gesnerias. These are small. These are miniature ones. This class are fibrous-rooted Gesneriads. Both of these Nematanthus plants are really quite something, aren't they? This one and this one. And then as we come around to the other side, these are tuberous Gesneriads. These are Syningas. And these are scaly rhizome. These are Calarias. And these are Apicias. 3 nice ones. 2 pink smoke. This one and this one, and this is called Apicia Strawberry Patch. So after you've seen, now think back and think about my pink acajou and look at these. So you'll see that mine is not too happy down in the basement. This is other Gesneriads grown for ornamental foliage. And here we are on the Streptocarpus class, and there are quite a few. Wow, somebody's got a very loud phone here in the mall. Some very interesting ones. This is a newer one. It's called Dale. It's one of Dale Martin's hybrids. It's called Dale's Polar Lava. And this is one of Dale's hybrids. It won best in this class. It's called Streptocarpus Heartland's White Gold. I like it a lot. You can see a lot of these are a lot larger than mine.
I'm stealing pictures of it.
Well, guys, this is the honor court, and here are the pictures are of all things that are flying, all things that have wings that are taken from photos from the African Violet magazine. Here's the Best in Show plant. It is Rob's Fuddy Duddy, and Amy Allison is the lucky grower, and it's beautiful. It won Best in Show and Best Semi-Miniature, and it's really, really gorgeous. It's a beautiful plant. The second Best in Show is this little precious red, and it's grown by Luann Christensen. And it was Best Mini. This is the Best Standard. It's Rhapsody Clementine. It's grown by Carol Boyd. Here's the Best Trailer. It's so cute. Look at it. It's a little pixie blue. I hope mine looks this cute when it blooms. And this is also Luann Christensen's plant. And Carol Boyd also won the Best Species. This is St. Paulia rupicola. And I'm really happy to show you my Petrocosmia carrii, because here it is, and it won Best Other Gesneriad. So here's its ribbon. It's as big as it, and I'm very happy and very thrilled that it won. So let me show you. Well, we'll see the design class very soon. Okay, everybody, this is the design division of the Illinois State African Violet Society's show, and this class is interpretive flower arrangements, and the theme for this one was Cupids. And this class is also a flower arrangement. This is a kinetic design, and it's called When Pigs Fly, and it's very, very, very interesting. I like it a lot. Here is again, these are flower arrangements. It's called Flying Fish, and these are the underwater arrangements. They are really something. And this is the second best design in the show. And it's Lana Gurnedy. Here we have Pegasus, design called Pegasus. And a couple of designs here. The theme for this class is called Flying Carpet. And this is the best design in the show, and also the winner of, this is a club, an Illinois State Award. It's called the Ruth Tiedemann Award, and it's for design. And then here we come to the terrariums, and they're all very interesting in their own way.
This is amazing.
And here are the dish gardens. So that's the overview and the look at the Illinois State Show for 2013. I'll be right back. Well, guys, I realized I didn't show you the AVSA and the educational exhibits in the show. So we're starting to break down now. The day is over. It's been a lot of fun. And I'll just give you a little look. You can see that there are hardly any plants left for sale here. People did very well, and you can see that the tables are starting to look a little empty. People are beginning to break down their plants to get ready to go home. Hi, everybody. I'm here with Amy Allison. She is the owner of Three Oak Violets, and she is also the winner of the Illinois State African Violet Society's 2013 show, Violets Take Wing, Violets on the Wing, Violets Flying Around the Sky. Amy, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So your plant, Rob's Buddy Duddy,
Mhm.
practically perfect.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. How did you get started growing African violets?
Actually, my grandmother got me involved in violets.
Really?
hmm She gave me a few plants and told me how to grow them, and so I had someone that I could go to when I needed advice. And her and my friend Andrea Worrell, they started the Fox Valley African Violet Club.
Oh, wow.
And so I was a charter member of that club, and I learned a lot through the club.
Very cool. So I know that you love to grow minis and semis.
Yes.
Would you say that those are your specialty, or do
Yes,
you feel you have a
definitely.
specialty that would be
Yeah,
that?
I prefer to grow the small ones.
Why?
Because I can get a lot more in a small space.
Oh.
No, because I think they grow better for me.
Okay.
I just
See, I
I
find
don't
that
have a problem growing the small ones, but I have problems with the standards.
Boy, it's exactly the opposite for me. I
They
consider
choose me.
They do.
Mhm.
They do. Well, I think pretty much you had, how many plants did you have in the show?
17.
Wow. And they all did very well, if I'm not mistaken. Very well.
Blues.
All blues. 17. That's a lot of plants, you guys. So, how do you grow your plants? Do you have stands? Do you
I do.
wick water? Tell us
do.
a little bit about your setup.
I have 3 stands. I do wick water, but I haven't always wicked.
Okay.
I just recently started wicking again.
Do you
Um,
like it better than, I mean, is there a reason that you stopped for a while? or-
I stopped because it got hard to keep all the reservoirs clean and filled.
How many plants do you have?
I don't know.
You don't subscribe to the limit your collection theme that we
Oh, I
have here?
do. I do. But, it's a different number for everyone.
Well, that's true. Plus, you have 3 oak violets, so you have leaves, that you're always
right.
getting ready.
So I try
All
to
right.
grow a lot of different varieties.
That's great. That's great. Well, tell us a little about 3 oak violets. How did that start? What brought that on?
It kind of was just because I grew so many plants that it seemed logical to share. And then it became, maybe if I charge a little something for them, it can help pay the electric bill.
Bill for the plant stands. I totally get that. Well, I've purchased leaves from Amy before, and they are great. So, will you be shipping this year? Is it something
Yeah,
you're going to do?
I've got like 4 orders waiting to be shipped out when I get back.
Wonderful.
And I'll be starting to send out orders soon.
Great. Well, you guys, I will link to Amy's website in the show notes so that you can take a look and see if there's something there that you can't live without. So, do you have a favorite plant?
No, I have several favorite plants.
What are they?
Many of them are Rob's because that's how I got started.
Okay.
Because at the time that I started growing violets, my boyfriend at the time, his name was Rob, and so that's why my grandma thought I would like these plants.
Oh.
So some of the plants that I have in my collection, I've had for 12 years.
Wow.
Same plant.
That's great. That's great. So, Rob's are your favorites. Can you give us a couple? Well, Rob's Buddy Duddy, I mean, every time I've ever seen it in show, it's a
Yeah,
stunner.
and I've only won Best in Show twice.
Well, congratulations.
And it's with the same plant.
With Rob's Buddy Duddy.
The same plant.
Well, I think it should be enshrined in your Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm so glad that you agreed to sit down for just a few minutes. Do you have any advice for a beginning grower? Amy, what would you tell someone who's just starting out?
Well, your advice of limiting your collection is a good one.
It's not my
But
advice,
it's
it's
been
Pauline
said.
Bartholomew's advice.
My next advice would be to grow what you love. Because if you're not crazy about the flower or the leaves or something doesn't grab you, you're just not going to take care of it. It won't thrive.
Okay, that's
Grow what you love.
Really good advice. Thank you for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
This is great. You guys, I'll be right back. I hope you enjoyed seeing the show. It's Sunday morning. I'm back home in the sunroom. I tried to wear this as a corsage so I could show it to you, but it kept falling off of me because I'm so excited about it. This is the rosette that I won for a Best Other Gesneria. It's a real achievement for me, and I'm very excited about it. I sure hope you enjoyed seeing the show. It's a little bit longer, the footage for this week, and I know that sometimes you would like me to stop so that you could see what every plant is, but it's just not possible to do that. And I sure hope that you enjoyed meeting Amy Allison, and I have linked to her website, Three Oak Violets, in the show notes. Well, it is time to get the bail money ready, believe it or not. I want to share, at least there is one upcoming show this next weekend. It is the Richmond African Violet Society in Richmond, Virginia. It is April 12th to April 14th, and it's their annual show and sale. And that info is on the AVSA website, and I will link to it for you in the show notes. It's time to keep moving forward. I'll be moving forward with the things that came home with me. I think I came home with 2 plants and 17 leaves. I'm a maniac. This is what happens when you go to show. You just see all these wonderful things and you think, wow, I'd really like to try to grow that. So mostly leaves came home with me. One plant, I got a new plant of Danson Trail, which was one that I really wanted to grow and lost last year. And I also came home with a plant that is a chiffon plant, the chiffon series. My friend Lana Garnity had a chiffon, and I was like, "You have a chiffon?" She's like, "Yeah." The chiffon series were hybridized by Joan Hill in the UK, and I had a few of her violets. She was a speaker at National a number of years ago, and I got some of her plants there, leaves of her plants, and I'm really thrilled to have one back in my collection. So everything that went to the show is going to go into isolation, as will those 2 plants. And I'll be putting leaves down. I also came home with a few Streptocarpus from Gary Makita, and one beautiful one that was gifted to me by Dale Martins, her white gold. I think it's Heartland's white gold. It's one that you saw I stopped and you guys got to see it in the show preview or the show overview. So I'm very happy that I was able to share the show with you, and I'm very happy that it's a bigger show than it was last year, and that so many people participated. My personal thanks go to so many who worked so hard to make the Illinois show a great show this year. So if you have a local show in your area, one that you can visit, one that you hear about on the podcast, or you hear about through your friends or on the AVSA website, I really urge you to go and support it. Buy some plants there. Look and see what's going on. Maybe attend whatever presentations that they have. And this is just the greatest hobby, isn't it? Well, you can tell I'm kind of punchy. I'm very tired. And if it keeps getting warmer here in Illinois, this is probably the last time you'll see my favorite shirt until the fall. So I thank you for joining me this week. I thank you for the ratings and the reviews on iTunes. I thank you for telling your friends about the podcast. I hope that your days are filled with all the things you love this week. Good growing. I'll see you next time.